Good morning. I would invite every member of the charge, if you have a computer, to get online to wpaumc.org and follow our coronavirus update and the instructions that our bishop has given us. This is from such the website. Areas of our conference will move into the yellow phase, and we have done that, at different times. But it should be viewed as a time for planning and preparation when we can return into in-person worship, which would be the green phase. There are lists on the conference website what should happen. And what I have done is I've taken that list and I've made it into a plan for this congregation. When we are able to return to worship in the building, I do want to say Buddy and I have talked about still putting worship online at least through the last Sunday in June, for all those that are probably too much at risk of the virus to come into the building. But for those that would, masks must be worn in worship. And we should provide a clean mask that would either be made or purchased ahead of time to be given to anyone who enters their church building and doesn't have one. The online option will still be in practice for those of our most vulnerable worshipers. Before we would come into the building, when we move into the green phase, we should have all surfaces cleaned before worshiping to make sure that cleaning products are effective against the coronavirus. Alcohol-based surfaces cleaners are considered to be adequate. Items like microphones and keyboards may be difficult to clean. We are to have a plan in place to clean all surfaces between services. This may require a change in scheduled worship times. But I would remind especially both congregations that you will be sharing a pastor, so we're going to have to come up with a strategy. In sitting, family groups may sit together. Or, if you're really tired of those you've been sequestered with, maybe you do want to sit apart, but that's my own thought. But seating should be at least 6 feet apart from every other to every third pew. I believe that we could open our balcony to try to maintain social distancing. We are going to provide a no-contact method to receive the offering. Either there will be a bin or box at the entrance or even in the first pew for folks to leave their offering. We will remind all counters to wash hands immediately following the handling of money. We will need to remove Bibles, hymnals, and other materials from the pew racks to eliminate the passing of germs. I would encourage you to bring your own Bible, much like your parents and your grandparents did. We will not be using bulletins. Projection is available, and we know that our IT guy has worked really hard in order to make many things possible, and I know that putting the service on the screens is not beyond his ability. He is quite capable. Microphones should not be shared. Now, we've had some conversation about the pastor and then the lay person. We don't use the same microphones. We're going to have to rethink how we do prayer time, since the microphones are touched and people speak into it. Now, even with the mask, we need to be careful because in singing and speaking, even if you're not aware of it, sometimes small saliva drops do get projected, and the CDC thinks that's the major transmission of the coronavirus, is that it becomes airborne from someone speaking, coughing, sneezing, those things. No baptisms or Holy Communion will happen at this time, especially if it can't be done following the public health guidelines. It is best to delay until those restrictions, even in the green phase, are lifted. Now, I have thought this through myself. The considerations was to limit the restroom usage. Now, I don't think that really is useful to us because it's also a source of being able to wash your hands. We do have alcohol-based hand sanitizers around the building. So when we do come back into the building, there'll probably be a little tutorial reminding you where those are. But what I'm going to ask is that all the restroom waste baskets be next to the door. When you come to wash your hands, I'd like you to wash your hands as if you were a hospital worker or a food prep. And what that means is you turn on the water, you wet your hands, and you soap them up. You wash well, fingertips up to the wrist, for 30 seconds or more. You let the water then rinse your hands from wrist to fingertips so that the water flows down your fingertips. When your hands are rinsed, do not turn off the faucet yet. Get a paper towel, dry your hands, and then turn the faucet off with the paper towel. Your hands should not be touching the metal of the faucet. Take that paper towel and then open the door for yourself, and either while you're holding the door open with your elbow or your foot, the paper towel then goes into the garbage can. This is one way that you will keep your hands clean and not touch surfaces that someone else might have touched in the restroom. PA plan unfolds. Different parts of the conference may be on different timelines, either under red if there's a reoccurrence, especially of the ferocity of this virus, yellow or green in the state. We should all adhere to the current state and federal guidelines for our region. We are to consider having the building to be a safe place. For we are also considered not just for our own wants and our own spiritual needs of wanting to be together, and I do understand that, but also understanding that we may be carrying something to someone, even if we're not aware of it, if we do not follow the guidelines set by the governor. We do yearn to worship together. I know I do. I miss every single one of you. But it is Christ-like to consider the health and safety of others over our personal desire to get back to normal. And we should probably realize that our new normal isn't going to look like the old one for quite some time. I have sent this article in to be in the newsletter that will come to you by snail mail. It is also up on our Facebook page for McMaster's United Methodist Church. And I would encourage you again to keep checking the Western PA UMC website for updates. May God protect us and bless both congregations.